This is my 1993 Mercedes 300D. It originally had a 2.5 liter inline 5-cylinder diesel, engine code OM602. Now it has a 3 liter inline 6, engine code OM606. It originally had a 4-speed vacuum controlled automatic transmission. Now it has a 5-speed electronically controlled transmission known as the 722.6, or in Dodge cars, the NAG1. It also has a Tiptronic shifter from a CLK Mercedes that fits in the original shifter surround, so it still looks factory. And the engine is also electronically controlled, and I've wired in a check engine light and a glow plug light. The car also has 434,000 miles on it. The current engine has 270,000. Everything that came in this car originally still works. The climate control still works, and I have air conditioning, which most people who do the swap don't have air conditioning. The cruise control still works and utilizes the original lever. The tach works, the speedometer works, the oil pressure gauge works, the temperature gauge works, the fuel sender works, and I have added the glow plug and check engine light, but otherwise all the other lights are stock and they all still work. This is the ECU. It's hidden behind a kick plate in the floorboard. Since it isn't waterproof, it has to be inside of the car. It's made by a guy in Iceland, and it's a custom ECU specifically for this engine. And I built this wiring harness. He doesn't supply you with one. It utilizes the factory Mercedes connectors. The black one is for the pump and the green one is for the sensors. So you could take this engine out and drop another one in and it would work out of the box. It utilizes a GM manifold air pressure sensor, a Mercedes CDI throttle position sensor, and a glow plug relay, which is from the original car that this engine came in, which is also electronically controlled. It has a big electric fan, which I just added. This came from a 2009 Mercedes E320. And it is also controlled by the ECU through PWM. It has a Cummins HY35 turbo on it. This one is a knockoff. It's not a genuine whole set, but it was a lot cheaper. That is the Bosch injection pump inside there. It's kind of hard to see. I polished this intake manifold and I painted this valve cover and injector cover. They have real automotive paint on them. I actually had to move the engine back a few inches to fit that fan because there is such little clearance. And believe it or not, it actually doesn't hit. It has a Mishimoto oil cooler and a Mishimoto intercooler. The crash bar had to get notched for these to fit. It's starting to rust a little bit, probably needs repainted. It uses AN lines from the feed and return at the back of the block. There's a guy who makes custom adapters to go from that fitting to a 10AN. It's sitting on some just generic tire rack wheels. They're not anything super special, but they look nice. And it has Sportline seats and suspension. Sportline was a factory sports package by Mercedes back in the 90s, which you couldn't get on the diesel, so you could only get that on the gas cars. But I bought a donor car and took all the pieces off of them, painted them, and put them on here, so it has bigger sway bars, stiffer springs, and then a quicker steering ratio too. The car I got the interior from had memory seats, which mine did not, so I had to cut the wiring harness out of that car and add it to this one. Also, it had a electronically adjustable steering column, which also has memory on it. These are the Sportline seats. They're bolstered more than the stock ones, and they're the same seats that you would get on the Mercedes 500E.